and welcome back here to Tommy Boxing. And today we got to talk about Canelo Alvarez and what exactly he's doing with his career. Is he retiring? Is he staying? Is he going up, going down? Like, what are we doing? What are the goals? Are we just trying to cash out, be world champion? No one really knows until today. I've done a lot of deep diving, going through a lot of stuff as of recently, what his plans are. He did that weird gift video with Turkey Al Sheikh, and then he was on the Mr. Versace podcast with Rick Reno himself, and also looking at the current super middleweight division. I kind of have some predictions on what's next for Canelo, and so without further ado, let's just get into it. All right, so if you guys haven't seen it, the biggest thing that came out initially was that Turkey video. He was in the room with Turkey. Canelo was gifting him the gear he wore for the Triple G trilogy. It was like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it so much, and you've done all this, you know, giving each other kudos for whatever. But then Turkey said a few things that I want to bring up. We're not going to watch the whole video. I saved some key points. If you want to watch it, just go on Twitter. It's on Turkey's account. Turkey states that he wants Canelo to stay about 5 to 7 more years, not 1 to 2 like Canelo has discussed in his contract. He only has a couple more fights, and that he wants a world title fight. He wants to be a world champion again. Obviously, I figured Canelo wants that as much. They've confirmed that he's fighting in September, and it's going to be a world title fight. And then Turkey said in 2027 it's going to be a big fight. So I assume if/when Canelo wins the world title fight in September, it'd be another title match, but it'd be a more of a name fight. So that one could be pick of the litter. And then they said eventually, you know, either 1 to 2 years down the line or 5 to 7 years down the line, his retirement fight will be in Mexico, like a huge stadium, football stadium, like he wants to. And then Turkey himself shuts down the Canelo Crawford rematch, which is really, really huge, because we're gonna get into that in a bit. But that's big, because before it was reversed. Turkey and Canelo weren't vibing with each other. That Turkey was Team Crawford, but I guarantee you it's because he retired after the rematch, and he's like, I'm not paying sanctioning fees, even though the ring doesn't charge any sanctioning fees, to clarify. But I think it was probably in lieu of that, you know, maybe just left a bad taste in Turkey's mouth. Now I want to get into the Versace podcast. This answered a lot of things for me of how Canelo was during the fight with Crawford. What's next for Canelo was the big thing I was looking for. And it was only a 20-minute pod, so it wasn't too long. I will say about 80% of it was just absolutely slobbing all over Turkey and the Ring magazine. Like, how great are they? Like, they're amazing, right? I'm like, all right. There has to be some contractual obligations to be like absolutely glaze Turkey in the ring, because that happens all the time, and it's so weird, but there has to be some contractual thing. Let's speak about the Crawford-Canelo rematch. Rick asked a great question right off rip. He's like, what went on? And Canelo said this in his post-fight interview, in the ring, out of the ring, and says it again. He's like, there's stuff I wanted to do, but my body wasn't responding. Then he added it a little further. He said it was due to I didn't rehydrate well enough, and there were cramps in my legs. It was I didn't make back the weight the way I usually do. So possibly it could be, but I truly do believe his body just starting to slow down, because he also mentioned he's like, I've just fought a lot more. That's exactly what I think too. I think, yes, are him and Crawford similar in age? Close enough, right? But Canelo has way more mileage on his body. Crawford fought once a year. Really, he didn't fight more than twice a year, but Canelo would do 3 times a year, and he's been doing that for several years. He just had elbow surgery too. He said he's feeling a lot better. That's why he's not fighting in May. He's going to wait all the way till September, or I guess it was February. He had a fight scheduled or something like that, but he wanted to get the surgery, which is fair enough, you know. Let your body fully heal, recover, be good to go. And I truly believe and we're going to talk about it in a bit, he brings up the rematch. He wants it. Sorry about that. My computer decided to absolutely crash in the middle of this recording. But as I was saying, I don't really see that rematch going any other way besides Crawford's way again, unless Canelo decides to age back 5 years and, you know, become younger again and have less mileage on his body. I don't want to see it. I don't think a lot of people want to see it unless it's a big drastic change. But then they confirmed the date for his next fight. It's September 12th in Riyadh. So it's going to be in Saudi Arabia again. Again, they did confirm it's going to be a world title fight next. And Canelo, not Rick, mentions he does have 2 fights left in his contract. Canelo specifically brings up, you know, I got a couple fights left. That's that. Even though Turkey wants him to stay another 5-7 years, I don't think Canelo wants to. I think Canelo, maybe more than 2. Maybe they have an additional, after these 2 fights, they make another 2-fight deal. So maybe he has 4, because I think he wants to become undisputed again. And we'll really dive into that of the realm of possibility here shortly. Yeah, I think that was a big indicator that Canelo's here for a couple more years, nothing longer than that. Then Rick does bring up the Bivol rematch. Again, similar to the Canelo one, I don't want to see it. So that, in my opinion, was all of the important points from the Versace podcast. If you want to go watch it again, check out Ring Magazine. So I made myself a list here of what's going on right now in the super middleweight division, who's champion, who's not. As of right now, the Ring Magazine belt, vacant. And in the rankings, number 1 is Canelo. Number 2 is Ulysses Iglesias. I am pronouncing that first name wrong, so I apologize. So that can be a possible matchup, but who knows? Who knows? Then for the WBA, we have Jose Resendez. If you guys don't remember him, he's one of the biggest upsets of 2025. He beat Caleb Plant. That was a hard one to watch as a Caleb fan. Rough one to watch. But he's currently the WBA super middleweight champion, so that can be a possibility. And the rankings for WBA is Canelo at number 1. And again, I'm going to butcher this. Bektemir Mills. Oh my God, seriously? Everything's going to shit. Sorry, my light just died. This is ridiculous. This recording's cursed. This is ridiculous. But then we have Bektemir Melikuziev, ranked number 2 at the WBA. Again, that can be another fight. Maybe Jose and Bektemir will fight, and then whoever wins that one, Canelo will fight next. I don't know. Alrighty, then the WBO is vacant right now, and then for the rankings there, Canelo again at number 1, Hamza Shiraz at number 2. He holds the Intercontinental title, and then Jakob Bank holds the WBO Global at number 3, so that can be another one. Then we get into the WBC, and this is where I think it's going to hold a lot of weight. WBC, the current super middleweight champion is Christian Mbili. He was the co-main event versus Lester Martinez on the Canelo Crawford fight, and then again at those rankings, Canelo number 1, Hamza again at number 2, Lester Martinez at number 3, Jakob Bank at number 4, and I guarantee you it's because of that William Skull performance that really boosted him up a lot. And then the IBF super middleweight belt, that one is also vacant. But at number 1, we have Iglesias again. Number 2, there's no one there. And then they have Canelo at number 3. That doesn't make the most sense to me. If you have no one at number 2, wouldn't you just move up the list and put someone at 10? And then number 4, we have Jaime. And then number 5, we have Hamza. Canelo and Jaime aren't fighting again, so throw that one out. But I think we're going to see something here. There's a pattern. Now, the biggest question is, who is Canelo fighting next? Specifically in September. I am very, very confident it's going to be Mbili. It's going to be Christian Mbili. That's going to be the fight in September. It's going to be for the WBC belt. And I assume the ring belt's going to be on the line too. Just, speed up the process for Canelo to become undisputed again. And it's also because, I'll pop it up on the screen here, Canelo, Turkey, and Mbili were all in a picture together at the Ring Awards, and that wouldn't be for any reason. I think they're talking business. Now, who is the big fight in 2027? I honestly think it's going to be Hamza or Iglesias fight in 2027 based off the rankings. I think Hamza is the bigger fight regardless, because I don't see Hamza slowing down anytime soon. So yeah, I assume during this time up until Canelo's fight in September, we're gonna see WBA get a little more active. Some of these super middleweight fights start to be made, because then they're just gonna accumulate the belt for someone. This is me just guessing. This is my theory. I'm super confident. WBC Ring Magazine belt September 12th with Christian Mbili and Canelo. And then during this time, we're going to see Jose fight. Someone's going to, put the WBO IBF belt on that fight as well. So then whoever wins has 2 of those titles. 2 titles here, 2 titles there. And then, the IBF or whatever one's left over is going to get tossed on top. Like, hey, these 2 champions are going to fight for undisputed. Every sanctioning body is down for that. They love a good Canelo cash grab. They love cashing out with him. But yeah, that is my complete theory. I truly believe it's going to be Christian Mbili versus Canelo in September. Hamza in 2027. Then maybe, they get the belt to probably line up with Hamza. I don't know. It's going to happen for Canelo. But that's my prediction. Go ahead, let me know in the comment section below who you think Canelo's fighting next. What are his plans in general for his career? When's he retiring? All that good stuff. Let me know in the comment section below. Subscribe, leave a like, all of that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Dum 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 dum.